It is Monday, December 1st, 2025. This is another off-season edition of Baseball Today. We're reunited. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. Good to see you back stateside. I want to hear all about your trip to Japan. How awesome was it?
I had a great time. Wonderful culture, wonderful place. I don't think it gets enough credit for its beauty. Like the topography is very beautiful once you get out of the cities. I know we had a great time, man. Definitely a cool experience to go with like the family, show the kids. I like exposing them to different cultures and
Totally.
just like seeing how the world works.
Could you feel, even though it's now the beginning of December, the baseball presence in that city, or no? Was it just because it's not in season that you didn't feel it?
I didn't really feel it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Shohei was everywhere. Like he's on green tea ads, he's on face care ads. He's kind of just he's the guy I didn't see any other like athlete.
Mm-hmm.
At least that I knew. I think there were some soccer guys, but like I think maybe that's in season. But Shohei was the driving force there. Obviously, we played a pickup baseball game in Kyoto, which was
I
cool.
saw that.
Yeah. I asked Jake this. I was like, "When's the last time you saw a pickup baseball game? Like,
Right.
you see pickup softball games, but a baseball game." So that was really cool. But to answer your question, I didn't really feel like a ton of baseball.
Got it. All right, fair enough. Well,
A lot
I'm
of
awesome.
Yankees hats out there. So Dan Rourke, you'd be happy to hear that.
There was a Yankees hat
Everywhere. I had this idea I was gonna do, Chris, where I was gonna have these people who like most of them speak broken English, and there's also a lot of Chinese visitors. That's what I learned. A lot of tourists are of Chinese descent. So I was going to go up to every single person that was wearing a Yankee hat and have them say Jake sucks. But like language barrier, it'd be really hard to do that.
Yeah.
But a ton of Yankees hats. I was very surprised.
Okay, interesting. Well, it's good to have you back. And I'm happy that you and your family got to experience that. Everybody should travel as much as they can if you have the means to do it. Wonderful. Before we get started, I was just scrolling through social media, saw this amazing clip that I wanted to share with you. It's from this past weekend, 1976. And I don't know if you even remember the name Pete Incaviglia. Do you remember that name?
Yeah.
Inky? Yeah, he was a top 10 pick in the mid 80s, big power hitter out of Oklahoma State. And this is him from Monterey, California. You probably don't remember when they used to do the pass, punt, and kick at halftime of the Monday night games. And so this is what happened in 1976. Look at Inky. I mean, that's like 40 yards in the air. Way to go, little Inky.
That was a tight spiral too.
Yeah.
We had the pitch, hit, and run when I was growing up for the baseball version of this. Mm-hmm. My brother did. I never got to do it, but
the most famous clip of the pass, punt, and kick or whatever it was Andy Reid, the Chiefs' legendary coach. When he was 13, he looked like he was 22, and he just had this huge helmet that didn't fit, and he's boating the ball all over the place. It's a great one. So I just thought I'd share that. Kind of came across it. Pete Incaviglia, shout out, member of that 93 Phillies team that lost to Joe Carter and the Jays in the World Series. Speaking of which, the AL champs made the biggest splash of the offseason so far. Haven't had a chance to chop it up since Dylan Cease reportedly inked a 7-year, $210 million deal to join Toronto's rotation. Does it feel like an overpay, or are you good with the move?
I don't think it feels like an overpay. I mean, it's just if you want your guy, sometimes you got to go out there and get your guy. And I think Toronto did need starting pitching, maybe more than everyone realized. Maybe not for next year, but I was talking to Jake about this a little bit. Like they had such success this year. I mean, so close to winning the World Series. Took the Dodgers to Game 7, had the lead in the 9th. All those things we all remember. To keep the good times going, they already got Vlad signed up there, but Bassett is gone. Scherzer's gone. After next year, Gossman's gone. Bieber has a 1-year deal. Well, I mean, I still can't believe he took that. But you need to fortify the starting rotation. You can't rely on just having these pitching prospects. And yes, I know you Savage is a guy, but you need a guy that takes the ball and can lead your rotation. This is exactly what Dylan Cease is. So I think this is a great move. Again, like if you want your guy, go get your guy. I think there are some things that Dylan Cease will probably end up doing when he goes to Toronto to try to have that ERA match the peripherals. We can get into that a little bit later, but I don't think it's an overpay. I think this is kind of what the going rate is for an elite starting pitcher, and that's what Dylan Cease is. I know that you have your qualms with him and the fact that he doesn't go deep into games, but like he's durable. He's going to give you his starts, and he has elite stuff. So I think this is right around where he should have been. I know there's a little bit of deferral on the money too, which helps in some of the present day value stuff. But I think this is great for Toronto and for them to capitalize on what just happened last season. I think they had to do it. Like, pedal down, man. Let's go. Toronto should be at the forefront of the American League for years to come. I think they've realized that now, and this is a step in the right direction.
Well, I'm never going to begrudge a team for wanting to pay for guys, okay? But if you're asking me, is it an overpay? Yes, it is. But for me, when you ask about it being an overpay, does it also mean that it stops your modus operandi? Does it stop you from making other moves? And I don't think it does. When I came out with just a quick hitter on 90 seconds on what I thought about this, because I knew we weren't going to be doing a show for several days, a lot of pushback from the Jays fans was, listen, we have one of the wealthiest franchises and we pay money to guys. And I agree with that. But I do think that it can be both an overpay and not stop what you want to do, whether that's going to get Kyle Tucker or going to re-sign Bo Bichette or making other adjustments to your bullpen or wherever you want to try and fix your team. So I'm okay with it, but it is a lot of money for a guy who drives me nuts. He drives me nuts because he's so talented, Trevor. And yes, he will give you 32 starts, and he will give you 175 or 180 innings, and he will strike out 200 guys, and I'm not dismissing all of that. All I'm saying is, when you pay $30 million a year, I need more consistency than what Dylan Cease has given at times.
Sure. I agree, but we talk about the benchmark. The 200 inning mark is not the 200 inning mark anymore.
Nope.
It's probably more towards 175, and he's like a guy that gets there every single year. You might not like the way he does it. People talked about this. They talked about Blake Snell this way too. I think you talked about Blake Snell this way too. Like, I think there has been some BABIP stuff with him, so that helps with the fluctuation of the ERA. I think there are some adjustments that he can make. Went into this a little bit on Talking Baseball, but on the trade rumors article, as I was doing some research for this episode, they mentioned like Robbie Ray going over to the Blue Jays and winning the Cy Young there. And what did he do? I went and looked at like kind of like what did he change? What was different that year that like made him, a Cy Young one? He was first pitch strikes. Like, he emphasized that. Like, it went up for him that year. And if you look at like where his pitches were located, like fastball was there. Like, he was just challenging guys, making them have swing decisions. If they can get Dylan Cease in the zone and get him ahead of hitters, that could make all the difference. And if they believe they can do that again with him, then we can see those numbers kind of get back to result-based instead of peripheral-based.
Okay, and I understand that. Robbie Ray is a great example, and a lot of people also, Blue Jay fans, were saying, hey, Pete Walker's done a sensational job, and there's no question about that. That happened. With Robbie Ray, let's remember, he got traded from Arizona to Toronto at the waiver deadline, if you remember that, in 2020. Wasn't good. The next year, they re-signed him to a 1-year, $8 million deal, and then he turned into the Robbie Ray that we have seen. That is a big difference between saying, we'll take a flyer on Robbie Ray. We think we have enough stuff to work with him. Now, once again, Dylan Cease, it kind of falls in line with the Blue Jays thinking. Now that they have added him to the fold, they have 4 of the top 8 starting pitchers in terms of innings pitched since 2021 in Major League Baseball. It's Gausman, it's Barrios, it's Cease, and I'm forgetting somebody else. Who else am I forgetting? I don't know who else.
I wasn't really listening to you. I was looking at some stuff up.
Okay. But that's the point, is that they have 4 of the top 8 pitchers, I believe, when it comes to innings pitched since 2021. And we know that you pay for regular season innings eaten. I'm just saying $30 million feels like a lot. At some point, I want to stop doing the expected ERA and the expected this and the expected that, and I want to see the reality happen. And there will people that'll say, "Well, his defense will improve significantly." Understand all that. But there were also pitchers with the Padres organization last year who had not expected numbers, but real numbers that were better than Dylan Cease's with the same defense behind him.
Chris, this guy is a Cy Young 2, Cy Young 4 guy. He's
Yep.
had those
He's had
numbers.
his moments. Yep, he has. He has had his moments.
You have
30
something
million.
going on with Dylan Cease.
I want him to be more consistent.
I think you're the biggest Dylan Cease hater I know.
Why am I a hater? Because he's super talented. Because
Because I've
want
heard
him
you
to
on the
be
show many, many, many times say, I can't stand the way he pitches.
right.
So that's kind of a hater.
But do you like watching him pitch when he's walking the world?
No, I don't. Nobody likes walks, Chris.
Right.
But I think that you have to look at stuff when you're evaluating a guy. You have to look to the metrics for like future performance. What can we tinker with? What can we do? I mean, that's how you have to sign guys.
Well, when Blake Snell, in between his Cy Young awards, was all over the place, was he enjoyable to watch for you?
I think they get it done in different ways. High strikeout guys sometimes can be a pain to watch. Traffic on the bases, stressful type stuff. But like,
is that fun to watch? That's what I'm getting at.
Gets the job done. He's still a good pitcher.
Did I ever say he was not a good pitcher?
I don't know what you said. A lot of things.
Yeah, not once did I say he was a bad pitcher. What I said, when you pay a guy $30 million, just think of the top guys in the sport. I don't
You're
think
making more than $30 million, the top guys in the sport.
I don't think of Dylan Cease.
You probably should.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I'd much rather watch Logan Webb pitch because I know he's going to be around the zone. He's going to give up hits. He always does. He can give up 8, 9, 10 hits a game, and you know what? Still pitching in the 7th.
I love Logan Webb.
Dylan Cease? But you're talking about significant pay difference. I think Logan Webb makes like 18 a year.
Is he under contract?
Mm-hmm. I think he signed that $90 million extension, something like that.
I mean, he didn't go to free agency.
Oh, I know.
So that's way different. You can't, like, you mentioned it. Who cares about the money? As long as you're going and continuing building your roster and making these decisions, why do we care about
we shouldn't care about it right now. It all is dependent. For this year, it's an incredible move. If they end up losing Gausman, if they lose Bieber,
they're going to lose Gausman. They're going to lose Bieber.
Okay, but you're going to have to replace
Bieber might just
those
have
guys.
an affinity for Toronto. We still haven't gotten clarity on what the heck happened there. But I don't think this takes them out of the Bichette or Tucker sweepstakes. I do think it takes them out of getting both of those guys.
So that kind of takes us to the next.
Yeah, but I don't think they need. I don't think they need that.
So what would you do? What's your next move for this franchise?
I think it's Bichette. I think Tucker's I think adds more value to your team. But like there's just something about like appeasing the fans, vibes that Bichette fits.
Mm-hmm.
Put him at second base, let him roll there, let him hit. It's all good. He's going to cost less than Kyle Tucker. Like I think that's the next move. Is that like the best move for them? I don't know. Maybe probably not. If we're being honest, that's probably not the best move roster wise for them. But I think you do have to think outside of just on-field stuff with this move. And I think the best thing for the franchise is this. And I told Jake this, and I think this really rings true. Before this news broke, Dylan Cease news broke, if you were to ask Blue Jays fans, and I'll ask you this question, would you rather have front of the line starting pitcher and one of those two guys, or no starting pitcher and both of those guys? I think the smart fan says starting pitcher and one of those guys.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think that's fair. I really do. For me, the next move, it's not as flashy and splashy as bringing back Bo Bichette. Tyler Rogers is a guy that, to me, makes sense in this bullpen. He got traded last year from San Francisco to the Mets, and he was great. ERA of 2.3 in 28 games in New York. Ton of ground balls. He doesn't walk anybody. he is the epitome of a pro, and he can give you appearances, 5 straight years of at least 68 appearances. His splits, in case you say, well, okay, but how's he do against lefties? Because he's the Rogers that throws with his right hand, not his left. Sub 590 OPS both ways last year. So I think he'd be a perfect pickup. I don't know. I just kind of threw that in there. He's a guy in his mid-30s. It's not going to get a lot of ink, but I think that'd be a dependable move for a team that I think needs to add a few arms out there.
I love the Rogers brothers. So yes, in.
Okay, good. Another pitcher is making a move from the National League to the American League East. Ryan Helsley snags a 2-year, $28 million contract with the Baltimore Orioles. You remember Helsley, just like Rogers, split time. He got traded to New York. He, of course, came from St. Louis. His time in New York was an unmitigated disaster. How worried are you that he will not regain his Cardinals form?
I'm not very worried. I think he can get back there. Like, as long as you have the velocity, you can, now, especially more than ever, you can tinker with, movement and pitch profile, all those things. There was talk, he thinks he was tipping pitches in New York, which if you're a 2-pitch pitcher, that's absolutely detrimental to your game. If they can just eliminate one of your pitches, it's there's nothing worse. I don't know if that was the case. I do know that his fastball got absolutely torched last year. So whether they had the pitches or it was a little bit flatter, which that was the movement profile on it last year, had less arm side run. And it showed like his arm angle went from 60 degrees in 2024 to 62. So a little bit higher up. And like that's could be the fix right there. Like moving the arm angle back down just a little bit, get a little bit more of that arm side run, could fix everything. So I again, as long as like the velo is there and you're not tipping pitches, with his ability, I think he can regain form like almost like instantly. So I'm in on it.
Were you surprised by the contract, whether it was the length or did you think he was going to have to take a 1-year deal?
He essentially did.
Well,
1 year with
he's
an
got an
opt-out.
opt-out.
I think he wanted that.
Yeah.
I think after having the year he had, he's like, I need to go and, regain, the industry's confidence in me.
I think it's a great contract for a guy who shit the bed in New York. I thought it was great. 7.20 ERA. He allowed 36 base runners in 20 innings after the trade. And that's coming off an all-star season in 2024 where he led the league with almost 50 saves. It's a really good move, right? Felix Bautista, in case you've forgotten, is going to be out next year. I mean, his career, unfortunately, has just taken a terrible injury-plagued downturn. They did bring back Kittredge. I didn't even remember seeing that. Did you see that? They kind of flew under the radar.
They traded for him with the Cubs, right?
No, they traded him to the Cubs, and they just brought him back.
Oh, it was a free agent?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in his walk year, so they brought him back. They kind of had to. They don't have a lot of arms down there outside of Cano. So I think it's a good deal for Baltimore. They're kind of piecing some stuff together. We can sit here and criticize.
Taylor Ward?
Yeah. But you're giving up 4 years of control for a starting pitcher who you hope will ascend. So I mean, they're making some moves. They still have a lot of work to do, it feels like.
Yeah, but you want to shore up the back end of your bullpen if you can. I think this is a buy low opportunity for them. I think that's what they saw it as, and you want to be able to get the last outs of a game. And if you're able to get like the guy that won the best reliever in the National League award in 2024, just 1 year removed at this cost, and like really, there's no such thing as a bad like 1 year deal, which this will end up being. Right. I love this move for the Orioles. And
for some reason,
I honestly wonder how many teams offered this or like did they think to offer this? I don't know.
Does it kind of bum you out that he went to a place like Baltimore and not a team that we feel like might be more in it this year?
No, I want Baltimore to get back in it.
I do too.
You can't get back in it if you're blowing leads at the end of the game. So like I think this is a good move for them. I want to see Baltimore have success.
Yeah, I hope that he is able to rediscover it because he was fun to watch during that 2024 season.
His fastball, I'm going to give you the numbers real quick because I could not believe. Okay, so four-seamer last year in 2024 Had a 276, 367 slug. Okay. Four-seamer this year, 422 batting average, 667 slug. It got crushed. It was just straighter. So move the arm angle just a little bit this way. Get the run back. You're good.
Pitching coach Plouffe.
Yeah.
All right, let us know what you think of these two moves in the American League East. Dylan Cease, what do you think the Blue Jays' next move should be? Baltimore Orioles inking Ryan Helsley to a $28 million 2-year deal, opt out after the first. How close are the O's? What do they need to do to get back in this thing? And who's going to be the next free agent to fall? We got to get going. It's been slow
going. Have you
going.
gotten anybody on your trade or free agent draft board yet?
Well, I had Cease, but I had him going to Houston.
Okay, so you had Cease. I was asking Jake that. Okay.
Yeah, I had Cease. I had him going to Houston, I believe, and that did not happen. Although I think I've got a few ones in the hopper that might end up working out. We'll see.
And nobody drafted Naylor.
That is correct. But we all talked about that at the end of that show.
Yeah.
We're all like, we just missed layup points. Yeah. So there you go. Today's edition of Baseball Today, it is brought to you by Shopify. Shopify, the best place to start and grow a business, and that is why we partner with them here at John Boy Media. May not know this, but John Boy Media, we've relaunched our merch store on Shopify. It's a new /line site. A total dream. We brought the ideas. Shopify brought the execution. Now, as you're shopping at our new launch, check out what Shopify can do for you. Life really is a home run when you have Shopify on your side. Shopify Sidekick, Shopify Magic, and a suite of AI tools, total game changer. It's revolutionizing the way that you can build and manage a business. You'll have your own AI assistant guiding you on everything. We're talking about directions, reports, editing images, content ideas. Shopify's got your next move covered. So if you want to be like us, start building your brand from the ground up, it's time to go over to Shopify and start your trial today. Click that link, shopify.com/today. If you're ready to leave the amateurs, head on over to the big dogs. You'll join us where we've gone over at Shopify. All righty. Interesting column in the New York Post over the weekend out there by Mike Puma, intimating that there were chemistry issues with the New York Mets. In fact, during a losing streak back in June, Francisco Lindor reportedly had an issue with Jeff McNeil over a defensive lapse. This one, unlike their previous issues, did not get physical. Puma also quoted a source saying the relationship between Lindor and Juan Soto was chilly at best. Quote, Soto is very businesslike, all business, no fluff, the source said. He wants to come to the yard, work his tail off, and win games. He's not into fashion or any of that other stuff. Lindor is into that. It's just two different personalities. Trev, does any of this shock and or interest you?
It doesn't shock me. I mean, this happens quite a bit. You know, when you get 26 guys, 28 guys together and you're around each other so often, there's going to be times where you don't like each other. I will say that when you're on good teams, like that doesn't happen very often. Like winning cures a lot. Like losing streaks really bring out some negativity and you know, kind of like the worst attributes of a player. So winning cures a lot of that, but you always do hear, you know, teams that you know, the guys in Toronto this year, Ernie Clement talking about, I just want to hang with the boys just a little bit longer. Like all they could talk about was like, I want to be with these guys. Shane Bieber, I'll never understand it. Like he's going back on a 16-year, $6 million option because he liked playing with these guys. So like when you have those clubhouses, it makes things a lot easier to get through 162. And like you play for each other. So that's what you're always trying to create. Like some sort of like brotherhood bond in the clubhouse. It doesn't always work out that way because you don't make decisions on your roster based on that. You try to, but you know, most of the time you're chasing wins. You're trying to figure out getting the best players together. You want them to gel, but sometimes it doesn't happen. You're talking, you know, Juan Soto, you know, bringing a free agent like that, a big time dog who just signed for $800 million, who is businesslike, like that's great. He's going to perform. Let him do his thing. Let him be that. You don't have to try to be something different. But you know, if there is like the Lindor McNeil stuff kind of like piques my interest a little bit more
Mm.
because they played together for a while now. They've always had these kind of tussles back and forth. That could really, really drain a clubhouse, man. It can really, really drain a clubhouse when you got guys acting that way. It just you're around each other so much that when you have that negativity, man, it just feeds into everything. So you're gonna have that throughout a season. It's not like it doesn't happen, but like it you try your best to not have it happen. And that sounds miserable, to be honest with you. Like putting myself in that clubhouse, it'd be miserable.
Well, I can't speak to this in terms of I don't spend any time around the New York Mets. I'm not in the clubhouse, so I'm not going to pretend to say, yeah, this is exactly what happens. Could it have happened? Absolutely. Do some people think that Mike Puma is way off base and they don't trust his sources? Yes, that's accurate as well. In fact, if you go back to a FoxSports.com article from earlier this season in which Lindor was quoted about Soto's personality, he said he's away from the world. It's him, his family, his little group, and that's it. He comes in and out. He shares moments with us, but he has said it multiple times. I'm quiet. I just want to come in, win, do my thing. That's just who he is. He's just in and out and in. That's perfectly fine. Not everyone has to have a big personality. Great. I mean, what's the big deal? That certainly doesn't sound frosty. Are they best friends? Definitely doesn't sound that way. But I have also heard a lot of stuff about Juan Soto in other stops that he has made, that he has always known he's been a hired gun. And before he inked the $800 million deal, it was more on a rental basis than anything else. Like, I'll I'll be here. I'll do my job. I'll try and help us win, but this isn't the final end all be all. But just because he signed an $800 million deal, we have to think that all of a sudden he has to be buddy buddy with everybody. That doesn't make sense. That is not in his DNA.
I mean, yeah, you want a guy that signs a generational deal like that. You want him to be the face of your franchise. You want him to be
Right.
the leader in the clubhouse. But if that's not his personality, it's just
Nope.
not his personality. Maybe you can learn that. He's still young. You know, by the end of this career, we might be talking a completely different Juan Soto. Guys grow. He's so young. I do think that you need to figure out who your leaders are in the clubhouse, and it doesn't have to be one guy. It could be a couple different guys, but they have to set the right tone. And
Well,
look, we're not in the Mets clubhouse, so you can't really understand. You don't really know what's going on day in and day out. But I can just speak from experience. The times where we've had clear-cut leaders, guys that really, who really took over that role, it just makes the season so much easier.
well, part of Mike Puma's column said that Soto was on the record is saying late in the season that Starling Marte is the
Yes.
unquestioned leader of this clubhouse. And Puma was trying to slant it that was poking the Lindor bear. Like, we all thought that Francisco Lindor was going to be named captain late in the season. That never came to fruition. But then for one of the biggest names on the team to come out publicly, not only not bring up Lindor's name as the leader of the team, but to point to somebody else who was kind of a bit player at that point in the season, that some people looked at it and said, I will say this. The Mets have to do something to change the complexion of this team because there's no way that this team should have won 83 games. 83 games? I know they had issues with their starting pitching, but there's way too many good players with proven track records to the point where it does make you think what the hell was going on behind the scenes and how much do they need to change something that you can't slap a war figure on it. And it is chemistry. It's why I had Alex Bregman going there in free agency because I wanted a dog that could still play that was going to stir some shit up, but in a positive way and hold guys accountable and make sure everybody's doing their thing and to say, hey, playing in New York is a big deal, but let's not act like pussies right now because that's exactly what's – well, I'm sorry. 83 wins for that team? I need something better out of that. I don't even root for the Mets, and that bothered me.
You just dropped the hard P right there. Okay.
Sorry.
Gosh, you kind of knocked me off. I had something I was going to say. You surprised me. it doesn't always have to be the best player. And in fact, most of the time, it's not your best player as the
Mm-hmm.
leader. Because, being a leader entails a lot of different things. I mean, it could be anything from, I'll speak for the Twins uh, clubhouse this year. Pablo Lopez is a leader in there. He takes care of like all like the fun stuff, like games on the plane and the home run jacket and all these different things. And then there's Carlos Correa, who I think had a leadership role, between like the front office and the players. And then there was Harrison Bader, who was kind of like, I think, sneaky, maybe the leader of the position players.
Mm.
And because he was just like around and he was a guy, and I don't think he has a family, so he can spend some more time there. Like there's so many things that go into that. You have to spend time in the clubhouse. And I don't know, man. That's why I always really, when you talk about like signing veterans to the team, like you need a clubhouse culture. And it can mean so many different things, and your group of guys can feel a complete different way about it, but you have to find some sort of clubhouse culture, or it just can go awry. And we've spoken about that way too often with the Mets over the last 6-7 years.
Yep.
So they need something.
It's hard. It's hard to define because when you have it and when you don't have it, but you don't always know how to get it.
But winning cures everything.
Winning does, but there's been the winning teams that haven't gotten along and haven't had that part of it.
That's what I'm saying. If you win, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like, hey, these guys, they hated each other, but they got the job done on the field. But if you lose and you hate each other, it's like, oh, this is a disaster.
Well, you talk about guys that it doesn't necessarily have to be the stars. Go look at the World Series champs. Miguel Rojas is one of the leaders of that team. A soon-to-be 37-year-old utility infielder.
He's living life right now, isn't he?
He sure is. Gosh. Good for him, man. That is good. Mets fans, where are you on this whole thing? I don't know. What do you want to do about this? By the way, McNeil's going to get traded, right? He's in the last year of his $50 million contract.
I don't know. My one point is I don't think the Juan Soto Lindor thing is that big. Like, I don't think that's the big deal.
I don't either.
I think it is like, if that McNeil Lindor relationship is as strained as people say it is, that would be the one that kind of like disrupts the clubhouse culture.
Well, part of the Marcus Semien deal, Marcus, you played with him. Good dude.
Great dude.
Holds people accountable from what I hear.
Great dude.
So, that maybe that's a step in the right direction right there.
Love that.
Okay.
Not super outspoken, at least when I played with him.
Mm-hmm. I imagine that he's probably matured into that a little bit more, but he is a quiet guy.
He's he is a freaking grinder who puts the work in.
Yeah, he does. Always has.
He went from a bad defender to a premier defender through hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. He also seems like the sort of guy who can probably just give you a look, doesn't have to say anything.
I love me some Marcus Semien. Love him. Yeah.
Clean it up. All right, Jesse Rogers. I want to give Jesse a shout out of ESPN Chicago. He always comes out with a really, really good column at this time of year, getting votes from anonymous MLB executives on a variety of topics. One of which, who is the top trade candidate outside of Tarek Skubal this offseason? A lot of the usual suspects were voted on by these executives. Joe Ryan, Stephen Kwan, Ketel Marte. But one executive said, sleeper name, Tyler Glasnow. Feels like the Dodgers can go to Otani, Yamamoto, Snell, Sasaki, Emmett Sheehan, and others. Use Glasnow on the trade market to cover up the holes. What percentage chance do you give of this actually happening?
Number one, I'm bad with percentages, okay? I pretty low percentage. I think that if anything, the Dodgers, with their starting pitching depth, proved that they truly needed it. I mean, using guys out of their bullpen at the end of the year that were starters. I just think that you don't want to trade away from that. When you have a farm system that they have, and I guess you could say, oh, they could replace him with the guys in their farm system. I'd rather trade the guys in the farm than 3 years of control of Tyler Glasnow, a guy that's proven he can do it at the big league level. So I put it at a pretty low level. It'd be interesting. I don't think they should do it. I like the starting pitching depth. Keep the starting pitching depth. Whatever holes you need to fill, like if you need to go get an outfielder, go get one or trade for one. I don't think it has to start with Tyler Glass now, though.
I would say it is sub 4%.
Okay, sure, I'm in with you.
Like in the milk column, like 2%
Okay.
is where I would put it. He's got 2 years, $65 million left on his deal with a $30 million team option for 2028. And oh, by the way, if they don't exercise that, he can say, I'll take a player option for 21 and change. So there's a lot of money on the books for a guy who, I love him. I consider him a friend, still has yet to throw 135 innings in a regular season as a major leaguer. Now, part of the reason that this whole thing worked for the Dodgers last year was, remember when we rolled out in spring training, we were like, my God, they've got a great starting rotation. Then they've got 5 more guys waiting in the wings that could be a better rotation than half the teams in Major League Baseball. Well, they needed every single one of those arms. And Clayton Kershaw's done, right? He is retired, so you're not going to count on 60, 70, whatever innings. They loved slow playing their starting rotation this year. Everybody except Yamamoto dialed back their innings. I'm not saying there were fictitious injuries. That's not what it was. But these guys were pitching 1 time a week. Now, I know I've talked to some of them. Not everybody loved that. They wanted to go every 5 days like they're used to going. But it worked. And if it worked, and you got guys that are now in their 30s, why wouldn't you keep doing it? So that means that they're going to keep all these guys. They should keep all these guys. And you're right. They've got other means to go do this. If they want to trade, go trade some of your young pups because you're just going to draft and develop like Andrew Friedman and his crew behind the scenes do.
Do you think there's any chance that he becomes a full-time reliever?
Glass?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Ever? 2 relief appearances in the World Series. I'm just thinking if you're not going to get the 150 out of him ever, like, is it better money spent at the back end of ball games? And he clearly has the stuff to do
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yeah. I find that interesting.
It is always interesting to talk about.
He did have a pretty high walk rate this year. That's the thing that would scare me, putting him back out there, late game.
Yeah, I think you could pare his pitches down then and just say, just go be a dog. Like throw 3 pitches, 2 pitches, whatever it is, control them and go. I don't know.
I don't think so. He did.
Yeah.
That would be menacing, though. There's not a lot of 6'8" Adonises that come out of the bullpen firing 101 with a hammer like that. Come on. What's the matter with you?
What?
Come on. Curveball.
You said a hard P and then a hammer all in one episode.
Really? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You dog. Well, you know what? I like that angle better. You think Glass now ends up in the bullpen anytime soon? I want to hear about that because I don't think he's getting traded. But I know this anonymous executive said it, kind of sleeper. So why not throw a fun one out there? And I have yet to talk to him about that because congratulations, Tyler and Megan got married.
Heck yeah.
So you get your second ring with your job and you get the real ring.
I love love.
Do you still have your wedding ring, your original wedding ring? Me too.
Yeah, dude.
Well, there's a lot of guys that lose them.
Oh, I lose everything, but not this. This is.
I've got a great story for you on a wedding ring.
Okay. That's your original?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. It's the only one. It's the only one I've had. This is it. In fact, I wear it I've got a huge indentation.
Yeah, me too.
Finger. See that?
I used to wear it on my chain when I would play. I would take it off and put it on my chain.
Look at that. Yeah, that's a lot of love. We had an IT guy named Eric, I believe, at Best Damn Sports Show, period. And we took the show to Miami for Super Bowl 41, I want to say, Colts Bears. And we're doing it on South Beach. Great setup.
Nice.
So one thing we used to do was we'd have these fun activities like a relay race or something on the beach. It was a little, hey now, but we do that. you have to practice it so that the director can get camera shots and all that. So Eric practices it, blah, blah, blah. He's helping us out. He comes back and he goes, did anybody see my wedding ring? We're like, we're on the beach. Eric, how are we going to find this thing? We've got people digging through the sand. Somehow, somebody found his wedding ring in the beach. Impossible. The odds of that, if you were to live bet the odds on finding Eric's wedding ring in South Beach,
How'd it come
in the
off?
sand.
Just running, it just fell off?
Yeah, he was doing some activity and it just popped out.
Oh, man.
Yep.
He was
But
dehydrated, that's why.
He found it.
Metal detector or just hands?
No, I think hand.
Wow.
I don't think it was a metal detector. I'd have to remember, but
Okay.
yeah. That's why the rubber wedding rings are so in these days, I think, because you can just constantly wear. NFL quarterbacks wear them all the time.
I have a bunch of those.
Do you?
Yeah. I'd rather just wear mine.
Yeah.
I even like lift with mine on. I know that you're
Yeah.
not really supposed to do that, but
I do too.
oh
yeah. Okay, we talked a little bit earlier about our Slash line. It's a new way to shop for your favorite gear at John Boy Media Store. It's the same JM merch. It's the same awesome designs. It's just a way better website, better experience, and a cooler name for our store, right? Slash line. It's all about showing off your favorite team, your favorite player, your favorite moment, and you'll do it loud and proud. We know the holidays are right around the corner, so if you see something cool for a family member or a friend or a loved one, click the link in the description to shop now. Slash line. All right. Last thing before we get out of here. We all know that Pope Leo XIV, huge Chicago White Sox fan. Well, this is kind of cool. He was on the Papal Plane recently, and Chris Livesay, who is a foreign correspondent for CBS News, well, he offered a gift to the Pope.
Happy Thanksgiving, Chris Livesay from CBS News. It's a real honor. I bring a family heirloom. It was a real achievement. This is from my cousin Jim. This used to be Nellie Fox's baseball bat. My parents' generation is from Chicago. It's got his initials on the butt of the bat. When they found out I was going to meet you, they insisted on me giving this to you. So, thank you so much. Thank you.
Pretty neat, I got to tell you, right?
God bless that man for being a White Sox fan. And you know what I just thought about? He knows who I am. If he's a White Sox fan, he's watched me play.
That's a great point.
And I used to hit the White Sox very well. So he probably hates me. The Pope hates me.
I doubt it. Listen, you're the greatest player to ever come out of Crespi High in Southern California.
No, I'm like third.
Really?
Yeah, Jeff Supan.
Oh, yeah, he's better.
Rick Dempsey.
Oh, World Series MVP.
Yeah.
Rick Dempsey went there.
Yeah, so third. But it's okay.
Well, you were a better hitter than Demp, but he was funnier. He was way funnier.
He's great. Me and Rick are like this, baby.
Are you? Rick Dempsey?
Not really. I mean, I see him from time to time. He's a member at this country club that some of my friends are members at.
Rick's got to be in his mid-70s now. He was the World Series of the 1983 World Series MVP for the Baltimore Orioles, and he was the catcher, one of the catchers, along with Mike Scioscia on that 88 Dodgers team. In fact, I think he was behind the plate when Bulldog struck out, maybe it was Tony Phillips to end the 88 World Series.
Okay.
Dan, you can look that up on a clip. Let's see.
He was a broadcaster, I believe, because I would see him with the Orioles.
So very funny guy. He used to, during rain delays, dress up in other guys' uniforms and mock them like with a home run swing and then run around the bases and do these headfirst dives. I think he put on a Robin Yount, speaking of Southern California high school studs, Taft High, shout out. He put on a Robin Yount Brewers number 19 jersey and put like a big pillow under his belly or something and the fake long hair and mocked him doing the whole thing during a rain delay on the tarp.
I need to get.
That's all right. That's all right. I was going to have you look up, Dan, whether or not Rick Dempsey was behind the plate. Find the last out of the 1988 World Series between the Dodgers and the A's. I want to see if I'm right about that. But let's get back to this cool bat. I wanted to look up a little bit about Nellie Fox because I obviously know the name, but I knew he was the 1959 AL MVP, but I didn't know much about him. What? What's
I
the
knew he
matter?
was a 1959 MVP. You just
Well,
know that?
Yeah,
It's
because
ridiculous.
that was the year that the White Sox, they won the American League. I mean, that was the year before 2005.
I can't imagine having a brain like yours. I just can't.
Okay, so Nellie Fox, guess how many home runs he hit the year he won the MVP in 1959?
59?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine that many. I want to say 17. 2.
He hit 2 home runs. He played almost 20 years in the major leagues. Now, right after the war, he came back and didn't play a ton of games at the beginning of his career, but he did play nearly 2,400 games. He hit 35 home runs in his career. 35. He must have been a dog in the infield defensively, though, because he had a couple of big war seasons with that.
You know who says that? Nick Punto has a line. I think he says 1919 or something like that. And it was the amount of years he played in the big leagues and how many homers he hit. He goes, you got to be a hell of a player to do that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes, Dan confirms that Dempsey was behind the plate in 1988 when the Dodgers won it.
Oh, man. Okay, well, you just know.
Sorry about it. I don't know much outside of sports. I don't even know much inside of sports, but I really don't know much outside of sports.
So he says 14-19, excuse me.
14-19.
14 years, 19 homers.
That is amazing. And 7 shreds.
He's so funny, dude. He was texting me the other day about the Rams and Matthew and stuff like that. But I really want him to get like a managerial job. I know
you do.
He's a leader of men. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, Dan offered this for us. Minimum 40 games played. Trevor, can you guess your highest career OPS against an opponent? Minimum
a team?
40 games played, yes. Who do you think you had your best OPS against?
Yankees?
Let's see here, Dan. The answer is Baltimore, 842.
Hell yeah, baby. I put some in the seats in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Well, I hit the Yankees well too, Dan.
776 against the Yankees.
Pretty good.
Okay. It's good to have you back. Jolly Olive, as always, did a wonderful job filling in for you, but it's nice to have you home.
It's good to be back.
Okay. We're back at the end of the week, pending an enormous trade or a huge free agent signing, which we will obviously react to. So make sure you, keep following us on social media like you've been doing. All right, we're in December. We love that. GMs, I'm going to implore you to start doing some business. I can't trickle out with just like one signing or one trade a week. I need more in my life because we shut down around the holiday seasons. Like, y'all don't do business. So let's get going. Thank you. On behalf of our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you later this week here on Baseball Today.